Hey guys, I hope you're all safe and well. It's Mitch here. I'm just coming on to do this week's Facebook card reveals for you all. So, if you are drawn to card 1, we're going into the energy of the High Priestess. Now, when the High Priestess shows, this is a very magical kind of card. The High Priestess is somebody that is very spiritually awoken, and she's in touch with her psyche. She's very in touch with her intuition, and she's reached a point, not a point, she's reached a point of heightened awareness. So if you've been drawn to this card, you may be looking at aspects of your life from quite a sort of spiritual place at the moment. You know, you might be really looking at the things that you're experiencing, the reason as to why stuff is happening the way that it is. You might be on this really quest or this sort of mission for really understanding your soul contract. What are you here to be part of? What are you here to experience? What have you come back for? Why have you reascended to this point in time? It could also be that some of you are actually really starting to invest and develop in your holistic, spiritual, or sort of witchcraft sort of principles. So some of you may be already sort of finding your feet and your bearings with that, or at the beginning stages of starting to explore and access that a little bit. But there's definitely the sense of being able to be part of the 3D sort of muggle world, but there's like a heightened awareness of, like, you know, spirituality, downloads. You might be getting quite a lot of deja vu. You might be getting quite a lot of intuition, like I said earlier, or you might be getting a lot of synchronicities as well. That can sometimes come in with this card, but you're being encouraged to listen and trust the energies that are kind of taking place and going on around you at this time. So if you're feeling certain energy, if you're feeling, you know, that there is this higher message trying to be delivered by the universe, sort of listen to that, because it is, you know, the High Priestess is actually needing to sort of go into that higher kind of consciousness where we can hear those unheard messages, those unheard voices that come in from the spirit world that try to guide us quite a lot actually, but sometimes we don't sort of stop to recognize and acknowledge. So maybe there's some of that going on for you as well. So quite a magical time. Some of you might be on, definitely, like I say, this spiritual sort of opening, or this sort of sense of sort of transformation and almost this spiritual journey, or kind of like the next phase of your own spiritual ascension. Because often we have an awakening, but then we have loads of levels and layers within that actual initial awakening itself. So we could have some of that going on here for you as well. So very interesting. Now then, as we're moving into card number 2, we're going into a card that's been designed specifically for this deck. So often you get tarot decks that work like that. So they'll have the traditional stuff, but then sometimes they have 1 or 2 special cards which have been created purposely for the deck. And this one is one of those. So we're going into the card here of possibilities, and we've got the fox, the hare, the dragon. What else have we got here? We've got the kind of crow, and we've got the squirrel, and they're all looking forward really. And possibilities is just that. This is about looking forward. It's looking at what you have accessibility to, what kind of hopes, dreams, goals, desires, actions can be reached. And for some people it might be very basic stuff, you know, depending on how your life is. For some people it might just be getting up out of bed of a morning and actually showing up for the day. That might be all you can do. That might be your possibilities for the day. But for other people, there's the sort of goals, the dreams, the ideas, the ventures. They're going to be a lot more big, loud, and sort of more sort of far spread. So possibilities that are endless. It's remembering that, you know, the mental mind knows no limitations. It knows no boundaries. It's only what we choose to put in our sort of mental consciousness is what becomes a sort of limitation or a setback. So with possibilities, go the distance, you know, go and sort of live your best life, and live it for yourself, not for what other people would love you to be doing or whatever else. Live by your own truth, live by your own heart vibration, and whatever resonates, whatever you want to experience, whatever you want to be part of, get out there and make it happen. It's quite interesting. Last night I went to see the opening night of the 3 Degrees on tour down in Taunton. Beautiful venue, the Brew House. If you've ever been, I don't know if you've ever been there. I'm going to look at possibly seeing if I can secure it for one of my tour dates. I don't know if I'll be able to, but you never know. I'm going to give it a try. Possibilities could be endless. Watch this space, you know. But what was really lovely when I was watching the band, what they were saying is, you know, because there was sort of getting some critiquing from why do they constantly tour, and one of the lead singers was like, we tour so much because one day we won't be able to, and they really see that being able to tour as a gift, as a blessing, you know. So that was really, really lovely that they're still, after all these years, really embracing and appreciating and seeing the magic of the music as a real gift and an opportunity that could be taken away at any time. So they're very grounded, they're very humble as a band. They don't sort of just, you know, think that they're more than they are. And they always acknowledge their roots within their show, which is really lovely. So yeah, so that was really, really nice actually to see that even though, yes, they've achieved some amazing stuff, they still know where they've come from, and they've worked really hard to sort of get where they are. So again, with this card of possibilities, even the impossible, if you want it enough, it can become possible. Definitely. So an interesting one. I'll leave that with you. Now then, there's always one card, isn't there, that has to ruin the sort of the flow, the energy. You guys, if you've been drawn to card 3, then what's going on? So we're moving into this 9 of Wands. Now, when the 9 of Wands shows, this is a time where you might be feeling a little bit vulnerable. You might be feeling a little bit fed up. You might be feeling a little bit cheesed off. You may be feeling quite let down or quite disappointed by people, circumstances, or experiences that maybe have been happening around you. This is often a card of being seen as the wounded healer. And what happens with this very often is we've got this kind of wall of wands that have been put up, and it's almost like feeling quite watched, feeling quite cautious, feeling quite guarded almost, because we have had setbacks. We have had people or situations that have, you know, let us down. So often this card shows when you've invested in a person or a situation or something and it's not quite gone to plan. Maybe you've been burnt by an experience, maybe you've been burnt by someone's behavior, and it's let you down. It's made you feel a little bit vulnerable. It's made you feel a little bit low. It's made you feel a little bit disappointed, really. But remember the size of your heart, and don't ever change who you are just because you might be up against some negative or sort of sneaky or disingenuous behaviour. Yes, it's horrible. Yes, it's not nice. Yes, I'm sure it could have been unavoided. But remember, well, what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. Even in those moments of trauma, everything carries a teaching, a vibration, a cycle of learning, of growth, even if it feels really kind of painful or hurtful or complicated even. So with this, there may be some stuff, you might be licking your wounds a little bit, you might be sort of healing from something, and you might be really having to just process the behavior of what's happened, what's taken place here. And if that is the case, and if that has come to be, then obviously have your healing, do what needs to be done, but don't stay stuck in this stage of caution, and also don't tarnish everybody with the same brush. So just because there may be some disappointment in a pocket of your life, that doesn't mean that every single person that's in your world is going to behave or treat you the same way. So don't miss out on living just because there may have been one or two sort of idiots or arseholes that you may have had to go up against. Keep it real, okay? So I'm going to leave this card with you, and hope this also makes sense if you've been drawn to card 3. So I'm going to leave those with you, and I hope they resonate. Have a magical week ahead. Don't forget, guys, that I am at the Autumn Spirit Bramble, is it Bramble? I don't really know. I'm at the Autumn Spirit show in Chippenham at the weekend, Yatton Kennel Village Hall, run by the amazing Bardware of Frog Lane, which is Carly and the gang. Sounds like a band almost, doesn't it? I think I've got 2 spaces left for Saturday appointments, and then I've got, I think I've got about 5 spaces left for Sunday. So it'd be great to see some of you lovelies there. You may have also seen, I don't know if you have, so I'll just do a quick shout out for it in case you haven't. Mum's put on her page that she's going to stop doing the product of the day for a couple of weeks because she's going through a little bit of health stuff at the moment. She's having to have some tests done because a couple of things are not quite right, but she's okay. She's just needing to go. She's been encouraged to go a little bit slow, so she doesn't want to be going sort of back and forth to the post office too much at the moment. So that is why she's sort of called time just temporarily on the product of the days until she's a bit more back on track. But all being well, she should still be doing the fair at the weekend unless there's a turn of events. But if it's as it stands at the moment, if she sort of still feels as she is now, then she will definitely be at the fair at the weekend. So you'll be able to see her in person for all of the goodies that you may want to purchase. What do I need to talk about? I just want to say as well, another date that has been secured for next year's tour. Loads of you were asking me, can I come back to Ilminster? So exciting news. I am going to be back in Ilminster at the Warehouse Theatre again on the 29th of June. So that's a cheeky date for your diary. We're just signing off contracts, and then once everything's put in place, tickets will go live and you'll be able to purchase those. So that's rather exciting. Loads of other dates are still, I'm still waiting. You know, some of these venues take bloody ages to get back to me, or they're just so slow processing it. But as soon as I have more information, more dates are definitely coming. Trust me, it's going to be a biggie this year's, next year's tour. It is going to be big. But I'm really excited to be able to come back to Ilminster because that was such a beautiful night last time. So I'm mega excited to come back there. So I'm going to leave it with you. Have a beautiful week ahead. Look after yourselves. Stay safe and well. And I will catch up with you very soon. Take care. Love and blessings. Bye for now.